beat North the first time this year and would love to finish the season well.
First quarter from the MCG, round 21 gets underway under lights. A vital game for North Melbourne. 2 games outside the 5. They must win to stay in touch. Harding goes at it hard. Didn't come down with the ball. Chance for St Kilda. Pekin offloaded. The ball kicked out at the centre circle by Hepburn. Up towards half forward. Taylor. Short kick to the wing. Bouncing ball might favour McRae. It does initially, but the boundary line is too close. And we'll see it thrown back into play. The MCG without the roof on the outer stand. It's been completely removed now. And the ground certainly does look different. It'll stay this way until after the grand final. Martin thumping punch away, but there is a free kick. And it's going to St Kilda. And it might be taken by Nixon. Yes, it is. Nixon on right centre wing. And you saw, was that a blatant push in the back? It was certainly a push in the back anyway. Fairly got a hand of the ball. And finally gets a boot to it. As I mentioned in our pre-match comments, he has the job on Stewie Lowe, and that's a big ask from anybody. Hand pass at centre field, comes out in the direction of Scholl. Down towards half forward, and that's a strong mark taken by Carey. And you'd have to say almost within kicking distance.
Another top young North Melbourne player too, Peter. Only 19 years of age. The 2 key position forwards, Carey 19 and John Longmire only 19.
John Longmire in the match against Hawthorn, also under lights, only got 2 goals. But prior to that, he had been a night specialist. He needs 8. But this is Carey. 45 metres out. Looks good. It's a goal. So first blood to North Melbourne. 1 goal. 6 points. And Kilda yet to score at the MCG.
Yes, they're an exciting team, the young North Melbourne side. Their future's assured, I think, over the next few years. They've got such a young lot of players, group of players there together. They're not relying on older players. The younger players have done it for them this season. Wayne Carey at centre half forward, a great find for the North Melbourne side.
And one thing, Bernie, a tremendous chest mark. He jumps up high and hugs it up high to his chest.
He does, Pete.
Hepburn against Harding. The bounce favours Hepburn, but he has a fresh air shot. That's Ben Buckley, a quick kick to the half-forward line. Grant was the flyer. This is little Anthony Rock with a quick hand pass, taken away by Coughlin. Further afield, it comes back to Coughlin. Coughlin with a long kick towards half-forward. Thumped on by Dwyer, looking for Lowe. Socket off the ground by Fairley. It comes to centre wing. That's the kick from Scholl. Right down to Larkin. Larkin, oh, cleverly done. A shocking kick, though, by Scholl, as we see Pekin with a good hand pass, finds Daniels. On to Coughlin. North tackling hard as they normally do. Ross Smith, great game against Footscray last week. He kicks long. Longmire at the back. This is his first of the 80 leads. John Longmire, an open goal. Goal.
93 for the season. North Melbourne, 2 goals, 12 points. The Saints yet to open their account.
Well, it was made easy for him there by Grant Laurie, who looked in perfect position to thump that ball away. St Kilda messing around midfield. North Melbourne able to get the ball. A long kick, direct kick to the forward line. Grant Laurie had the sit, and he just mistimed his leap, allowing John Longmire to run in, rove it, and kick a very easy running goal.
1 to Longmire, 1 to Carey. Goal kickers for North Melbourne. The Roos by 12 points. Great opening here at the G. Harding and Hepburn. Pekin, well tackled. Stalemate, says the umpire. Scholl wasn't going to let him go. And we'll see a bounce on the centre circle again, but this time everybody's in. The 1960s. And look how crowded it is. Hepburn doesn't get a thumping punch away. It's a St Kilda ball. Driven up the half forward. Not very far. This is the St Kilda newcomer to Petter. Then it comes to Lowe. They'll need him to fire tonight with Tony Lockett not there. Fairley, his opponent, goes for the boundary line. Rock racing after the ball with Kane Taylor. It beats both of them, and we'll see a boundary throw it on centre wing. St Kilda yet to score as Harding awaits the boundary throw in. A lot of players tonight wearing the longer sleeve jerseys, and that's certainly a good idea. It'll get pretty dewy later on if in fact we don't get a rain squall. We've had a few of those in Melbourne today. on the shoulder. Free kick to North Melbourne. And Hepburn will take the free kick. Certainly as a ruckman, he's not in Gary Dempsey's class, but he's got a lot of go about him. And it should be an even money bet, him and Paul Harding. Grant, fine aerialist. And the umpire has blown the whistle. Did he pay the mark, Bernie, or was it a free kick?
Free off the play, Pete. Carey was interfered with before the ball arrived.
And Carey, centering kick by him. He kicked the first goal. Smith got a couple of hands to it, couldn't take the mark. Laurie out of defence safely for St Kilda. Played last year, of course, with Box Hill. Devonport comes down with the ball, but North Melbourne getting a good run with the frees at the moment. McRae this time on right centre wing.
Yes, a push out, and the ball was not within the required distance. A lovely kick by Dean McRae to half-forward. Carey used his body well. He really is a promising player. Here's Ramiro, gets around easily, straightens up Jose Ramiro, hooks it slightly to the left, but that was excellent play, Bernie.
He's an exciting player, actually, Jose Ramiro. He's been, well, he gives 100% right throughout the match. There's no worries about that. And he's had a pretty good season.
Well, the huddle's on at centre-half back for Grant Laurie's kick. Every player
like
up the centre corridor. He'll probably go out wide, which he does. He is a beautiful kick. He's looking out for Harding. It's fisted away up by Hepburn. Here's Ramiro. Beautiful hand pass to Smith. On the Scholl. Craig Scholl on the left foot, hooks it wide and puts it out of bounds on the full. Now, Scholl was almost discarded by North Melbourne at one stage. And he has really surprised a number of people at North with his form. He's holding his place well in that side. Centre wing is Harding, punched down by Hepburn. Disciplined player, 30-metre punch. Round the boundary line it goes, and in fact over the line at half forward for North. It's been all North Melbourne so far. 2-1 North. St Kilda yet to score. There's former Hawthorn champion Peter Hudson helping out Kenny Sheldon.
Well, the way they're going at the moment, they might need some help, Pete, because as you said, it's been all North Melbourne so far. A scramble. Larkin. Well, here's another goal coming up. This will be his second goal, or McCarthy's first, rather, and North Melbourne's third. They're doing it easily. 3-1-19. St Kilda yet to score.
Yes, they are a classy side. McCarthy, a player who's capable of anything. And they're feeding it out to each other. They're getting the numbers around the packs. And St Kilda looking a little bit unsure of themselves. There's a hand pass from Larkin to the running McCarthy. But I think they'd be disappointed that they lost that 6 games in a row, because this is a side that's capable of featuring in a final series.
Well, 19 plays nothing, and St Kilda have already made a change. Gordon Foad is onto the ground, and off is Frank Coughlin. They'll have to get a move on. North look very ferocious. There's Larkin. A quick kick to half forward. Will it be a mark? Ooh! McCarthy couldn't take it. Went in very, very hard. Look at the players pouncing after it, but North burning even at this stage. They look as though they want that ball.
Well, they're desperate, aren't they, Poop? But that was great play by Kane Taylor for St Kilda, going back with the flight of the ball. McCarthy charging out. He could have been really cleaned up, Kane Taylor.
Carey and Harding contesting that. I'm looking forward to that clash, because usually both of these players come up against a Justin Madden or a Simon Madden, and tonight they're evenly matched in height. Still at half forward for North. All the big punches by Crocker, who's been in great form in recent weeks. There's McCarthy. He can do the miraculous onto the right foot. Round the body, Longmire and Frawley. Punched down by Danny Frawley. Longmire still going. He's got it. Handballs over the head to Rock. Great play by John Longmire. Rock into goal. Bounces through. Yes! Tremendous play, John Longmire. 4-1, 25 North Melbourne. St Kilda yet to score.
Well, that was great team play all around, Pete. We saw the ball go through. It wasn't a long kick, but it was shepherded. As we look at the replay here with John Longmire taking control of it, a good handball over the top. Rock takes possession, but look at this shepherd here from Allison. He was able to keep David Grant out of position. He would have touched that, no worries.
So North Melbourne blitzing St Kilda at the moment. The Saints really into attack only once, and they won't go into attack here because Brayshaw keeps them out. Short kick by Brayshaw just over centre field. Now a chance for Foad. Onto Harding. Runs into trouble. That could be almost holding the ball, but it spills free for Hepburn. Hepburn inside the square. Down to half forward. Punched away from McCarthy. McCarthy recovers well, though. Longmire shoots out a hand pass to him for his second this time, or has he got it? He squeezed it and he has, yes. McCarthy second. North Melbourne on fire. 5-1 to zilch.
umpires tonight, Dennis Rich and Chris Mitchell. Saw them put on a magnificent exhibition the other week. So they're in good form. This is Scholl. Ramiro. North go forward again. The wobbly ball towards half forward. Oh, good mark. That's taken by McCarthy. It might be one of his hot nights tonight. He's kicked 2 already. Now, I think he's going to have a shot from here.
Well, he kicks the ball long distances, Peter, so he's not without a chance.
The Longmire made the lead, but Frawley was with him. Now, they have to kick from 55, maybe 56 metres. Gallagher coming on and Hepburn off as McCarthy kicks for his third. Look at that booming drop punt. Just to the right, but it's no worries about the distance, Bernie.
Oh, he started off well. Actually, the North Melbourne forward line with McCarthy, Longmire and Carey are very talented. They've got plenty of players on that forward line who are capable of kicking goals.
Grant Laurie, a great kick, one of the best kicks in the game. Look at that. Low trajectory drop punt, travelled about 65 metres, but it's all North Melbourne. Allison looking for Carey. Taken away by Grant. He's a good, honest player. On to Fode, who started on interchange. Fode to the half-forward line. Devonport used his body well at the back. He's a clever young player. And unfortunately, the ball beat him over the line as he handballed on. And no doubt the boundary umpire in good position to see that go across.
11.5 minutes left in the quarter. Fairley and Lowe. Stewie Lowe hasn't had too many touches so far. Crocker through without the ball. Jimmy Crocker, well, they can certainly do with him tonight. Sexton gives a hand pass. It wasn't a good one. His teammate was under plenty of pressure. Now Cummings comes out with it for St Kilda. At their disposal, leaving a little bit to be desired. Fairley punches down. Daniels grabbed. They're making heavy work of it, the Saints. Lowe, finally. Devonport. Can he score a goal? 15 metres out, he has done. They're first. So Craig Devonport putting through St Kilda's first goal. 5-2 to 1-3.
Yes, but they're making hard work of it, getting the ball into the forward line. Craig Devonport, very dangerous player. Daniels caught with the ball there. North Melbourne working very hard, but Stewie Lowe able to cut off that hand pass. Fed it out very quickly to Devonport, who kicked his first goal. 1 goal, 2 so far from the St Kilda total.
North Melbourne by 23 points. That was Cummings. Towards the half-forward line, Devonport. He's a very talented young player. Easily gets onto the right foot. Brings it up to Lowe, who shoves his opponent out of the way. Oh, that was very strong work by Stuart Lowe. Ian Fairley claiming he was pushed out. I think he pushed him in the side, I felt, Bernie.
Well, he was pushed out, Pete. Let's
have a look.
Very dicey, this one.
Yes.
A little bit of a nudge, not a lot in it.
No free kick. Stewie Lowe has taken 203 marks for the year, and that was his 204th. Now, his kicking's normally indifferent from 35 metres. This one might be straight. Yes, St Kilda's second goal.
Well, they needed that one. St Kilda, 2 goals on the board, 2-3. Well, they still trail North Melbourne 5-2.
Well, that's better by St Kilda. At least they're starting to win the ball around the middle of the ground. We have a look at that mark again by Stuart Lowe. Just using his strength. Such a big body. There's no doubt that was a mark. No free kick there. And Stewie Lowe, his kicking has improved this season. In fact, that's his 48th for the season.
Stewie Lowe, 1 goal. Back into the centre. The Saints kicking the last 2 to add some respectability to their score. Cummings taps further forward for them. Trying to go through. I think that was Nixon. It was. Good tackle by Chandler. Well, Gallagher it is, who's just come on, and he's got the free kick. Replacing Hepburn. So obviously going to do a quarter each. That's a mark to Harding. No doubt about that. Laurie. Well, we've said earlier tonight he can kick better. Gallagher. Kick number 2, but not a well-directed kick. And the Saints should get out of danger through Jeffrey. Jeffrey's kick to Daniels. Was that a free kick? It might have been. Yes, it was. Jason Daniels short of the left centre wing position. Centering kick by the redhead for St Kilda. Brayshaw missed the mark. Crocker kicks poorly to half forward. The result might be okay. Carey, Longmire tries to get it back to that player. That's holding the ball, is it not, umpire? No.
What a great tackle, Bernie.
Great tackle. No chance whatsoever for Rock to get rid of it, but let's have a look at that. Yes, you have to give the player who gains possession some sort of opportunity.
Harding taps out again, not very far. But the West Australian gets a boot to the ball. Out to the half back line. Daniels and Crocker. Devonport and McRae. With Devonport kicking St Kilda's first goal. He might get this again. He's easily their best player so far. They need a few more of him. A good knock-on by DePetta. He might get another chance. Nixon was nearly ironed out. And Devonport's flattened his back at the moment too, as North Melbourne through Hamilton clear the ball.
Well, let's hope Devonport's not injured. He's holding his wrist. And Jason Daniels appealing for a free kick. Umpire not having a bar at it now. No, he's lost his boot. So he's all right, Craig Devonport. They certainly wouldn't want to lose him. He's looking very dangerous up forward. There's Gallagher to Larkin. Good play by North. Smothered off the boot. Players charging after it. And one player there, number 47, you see there is Bernie Harris, formerly of Fitzroy and the Brisbane Bears. There he is.
Looks different, doesn't he?
Yep, certainly that the jumpers changed them. Here's Harding against Gallagher, brilliantly tapped down to Larkin, onto Crocker, onto the left foot. Here's a mark coming up to North Melbourne, and McCarthy's causing all sorts of problems down on that forward line. With Grant Laurie on the mark, Bernie, I think. Let's have a look. There's the mark.
Yes, he's a lot of latitude there, but North Melbourne are getting the ball down in that forward line without a lot of pressure around that centre line from St Kilda.
McCarthy's kicked 2 and missed 1. There's the drop punt, a wobbly one, but it floats. And did it float in for a goal? Yes, it's his third.
Minutes left in the quarter. 3 goals to McCarthy. North Melbourne now take this quarter 6-2. And so it's been a good term for them. Loose ball at half forward. Devonport again. Shaping up as, if not the man of the match, certainly the man of the side. This is McRae. Short pass onto centre wing. North Melbourne's disposal much better. Rock. He's kicked 1 goal. Centering kick. Buckley. Gallagher. Buckley again. High kick. Forwards don't like those. Frawley and Longmire. Longmire, brilliant! Frawley had the front posse. Bernie, how did he lose it?
He was outmanoeuvred there by John Longmire. I think Frawley was too intent on worrying about where Longmire was instead of going towards the ball. Longmire kept his eyes on the ball and paid dividends for him.
He's kicked 1. He's kicked 1. He needs 8, remember, for the ton to be the youngest North Melbourne player to score 100. The others to do it, Doug Wade, 103, and also Malcolm Blight, the same total.
In fact, the youngest player ever, Pete, to kick 100 goals.
Be a great effort, Bernie, wouldn't it? Grant Laurie has been a busy man tonight so far. The likes of McCarthy, etc. McCarthy 3 goals. Stuttery run-up. No one can take the mark. Finally, it comes to Harris. Tries to get around Rock. Had marginal success. Crocker, right on the boundary line. Feeds it out to Brayshaw. Brayshaw from left half forward flank. High kick and long. Longmire in front. Good punch away that time by Frawley. Larkin around Laurie. St Kilda players at the fall of the ball. They should be able to close it up here. It's booted out towards the 50-metre line, only to see Rock again. This time a centering kick, and Scholl making great position. Marks inside 50. 5 minutes 14 left in the quarter. Can he make the distance? For North Melbourne's 7th of the term. They really are on fire, North. Certainly on the performance so far. They deserve to be in the 5, and that's their 7th for the quarter. 7-3 to 2-3. It's a buck.
Yes, it certainly is, Pete. They're very impressive, the North Melbourne side, but St Kilda, as we said, a much depleted side. Lockett, Winmar, Cracker, the stars out of the side, and really you look at their goal-to-goal line. You've got Stuart Lowe and Danny Frawley. Apart from that, no other recognised key position players in the St Kilda side.
North Melbourne by 30 points. Scholl to the forward line after receiving from Larkin. Thumped the ground. Who can get there first? It's North Melbourne. This is Anthony Rock. From the 50-metre line, he's put off balance by Frawley. That was good play by the captain. And he's forced into kicking out of bounds on the full. So it'll be a penalty kick down there to Bernie Harris. No one on the mark. Now Ramiro is now. Now he plays on with a hand pass to Kane Taylor. Taylor to Lowe. Look at the strength of Lowe. He got to that front position, then tried to tap it on. Centre of the ground is Dean Rice. He's looking further afield towards Donald. It's at half forward now with Devonport. Great play, Craig open goal. He deserved the goal. That was good play. It was punched away by Hamilton over the line for a point, but that was excellent play, Craig Devonport.
He's got an amazing turn of speed there, Craig Devonport. He's certainly got the skills and has shown in a number of quarters that he's capable of kicking a bag of goals.
Hamilton, who replaced Paul Bryce in the selected side, brings it to the half-back area, punched away from Gallagher. Good use of the body by Ross Smith. Clever little hand pass. Allows Jeff Chandler to come in. Devonport again. Can he kick another one as he tries to hook it back? Another floater. And it's bounced back into play. Little leg break. Brayshaw comes in hard and allows the ball to go over the line. But that was no free kick. Good umpiring. And these umpires, Dennis Rich and Chris Mitchell, are in tremendous form at the moment.
Have you got free tickets at the umpire's ball or something?
Absolutely. Trying to get them. There's Shuey Lowe. No, credit where it's due. Here's Hamilton. Towards half-back, and the mark is taken by Larkin onto the left foot. Around centre wing. Over the... Oh, Crocker was grabbed. Free kick to Darren Crocker on centre wing, holding the man, and he's been in great form in recent weeks.
Darren Crocker was short of the left centre wing position. Grant, the flyer, actually punches clear. McRae, 40-metre punch on. Romero, it bounces kindly for him. 30 metres out from goal. Steady shoots, and is it their eighth for the quarter? It is. Melbourne leading by 35 points. They must win tonight and next week, and hope Hawthorn loses two to get into the five. Well, can they do it? Certainly they're the best side out of the five at the moment. Allison kicks up towards the left forward pocket, and in fact, indeed, it's right out in front of goal. Frawley dives on it. Gee, he could nearly be penalised. And in fact, there is a free kick.
You called it right, Pete. Frawley over the ball, made no attempt to knock the ball out.
Carey to take the free kick. Carey has kicked one. McCarthy has kicked three in this double-pronged attack that North Melbourne has. So for their 9th goal. 30 metres out, pretty well directly in front. And that looks okay, and it is. Carey second. North Melbourne goes further ahead. 9-3, 57 to 2-4-16 at the MCG.
Wayne Carey kicking his second, and on Grant Laurie. Grant Laurie already has had 4 goals kicked on him. 3, of course, by McCarthy in that first quarter. As we see that free kick again, Danny Frawley just let it go, Pete. I think it was
that was tough when you look at that.
He had the ball, he rolled over and just let it go. He didn't try to knock it out.
He had his arms pulled off the ball. They're very stiff. 9-3 to 2-4. He had no chance in Danny Frawley. There's Buckley and Larkin.
Well, Pete, just on that one, on that free kick, you usually tell if it's not a fair free kick. Frawley did not complain about it at all.
Well, there's a kick from Buckley to half forward. Well done by Carey to punch it to the ground. Hand pass comes out from DePetta. Ends up with Rice. Around the wing they come. This is Sexton. To half forward, they need someone to take a mark. It's fisted to the ground. Devonport, a quick kick to the pocket. There's no one there for St Kilda. And the ball beats all the players over the line. 9-3 plays 2-4.
10 possessions to Devonport, Pete.
Well, that's not bad in a losing side for a half-forward flanker. 10 possessions, what a great effort. And could have kicked 3 or 4 goals. Now here's a chance on the left foot. Devonport, we're talking about him, a quick kick on the left. Fairly to the line. Oh, Devonport there again and almost kept it in. He is a clever little play.
There we are, those stats 11 now. He nearly made it 12. It's a left forward pocket for St Kilda. Martin punches to the back of the pack. Loose hand pass. Sexton overran the ball. Hepburn will look for someone going past in the person of Hamilton. Not a good hand pass from him, but he was tackled. Spinning out of Scholl. He's been a good player tonight. Kicks the ball back to centre field. Romero, gutsy attempt to mark, and in fact came out with the ball onto McRae. Towering punt kick into the pocket. Longmire didn't get a hand to it, and it drifts through for 1 behind. Longmire's kicked 1 so far. He needs another 7 to crack the ton tonight. One would suggest that he'd get it either tonight or next week, surely.
Tell you what, I bet he doesn't get it tonight. on Danny Frawley.
Well, the way the ball's coming down there, Pete, you never know in that second half. It's not bad conditions.
It's down there a lot, isn't it? Jeffrey. Well, great attempt to mark. In fact, did he pay that? He did pay. Fair enough. McRae hands the ball back. Jeffrey. Not a good kick. Straight to Ben Butler. Thought about playing on. Didn't go over the mark. Goes back. Kicks further. Oh, McCarthy. Up high. Couldn't take the grab. Jeffrey in the back. No, says the umpire. Carey. Well, gee, it's coming back. And I think it went through. Laurie didn't touch it. It's a goal. So Carey gets his third. North Melbourne's 10th. 10-4 to 2-4.
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, it's amazing. Carey curved that ball around. A good chase by him on Russell Jeffrey. Knocked him down. Look at this kick. He swings it back from left to right. Grant Laurie, I thought, was in position to touch it. And then in the end didn't put his hand up. So I think it was a very lucky goal there to North Melbourne.
Might have lost it in the lights, I think.
Well, North continue on their merry way. They lead by 8. I thought Grant Laurie was a bit too worried about the goalpost then. There's Larkin to half forward, and the mark has been taken. Gee, that was beautiful play out of the centre. And Johnny Longmire, the North crowd roaring. Now, it was a lovely lead.
Well, they're keeping the forward line so open, it's making it easy for the key forward players there, McCarthy, Longmire and Carey.
He's got 7 to go to the 100. John Longmire, the drop punt, it's a wobbly one. Did it make it? I don't think so. No, it's a little bit to the right, and he'd be nervous. He's only 19, we've got to remember, and a chance to kick 100 goals. It must be weighing on his mind a little bit. 10-5, plays 2-4. And I hope he gets his 100 tonight, but I think on a guy like Frawley, he's going to have his work cut out. It's a free kick against McCarthy. First shepherding. Out there's Jeffrey taking the free from half back to centre wing. An ordinary looking kick. Sexton couldn't trap it. This is Frank Coughlin, who was taken off in the first quarter. He's back on the ground. Nice hand pass. Back to Sexton. Further afield to Cummings. Cummings from 50 metres brings it in towards goal. Hamilton can't take the mark. A good attempt. As players load. Now, what is any different to that? Now, you think about that. What is any different to that to the one down the other end with Frawley? He lay on the ball and made no attempt to get it out.
I agree with you. Yes, I have to agree, Pete, there.
He just lay on it, Hamilton. Now, that's where umpires have got to be more consistent. Here's a chance for DePetter on the left foot, a goal. Good effort by the young player.
Well, they needed one for St Kilda. DePetter's first and St Kilda's third. The Saints 3-4, North Melbourne 10-5.
Well, one of the youngest St Kilda players kicking that goal. Recruited from Springvale North. He played his first game last week, Aldo DePetter. And St Kilda trying a few young players. Of course, some of the older players out through injury and suspension. They have to try some youth, see what they can find at the end of the season.
Just over 20 minutes left in the quarter. Been a grade 1 game for North Melbourne so far. Hepburn runs at his opponent Harding, who wins out at the end. Martin grabbed, might have been too high. Grant to Daniels, kick smothered. Brayshaw, hand pass over the top, was deemed as legal. Umpire calls play on. It's a scramble at midfield. McRae finally. High kick to half forward. Outside 50. Kane Taylor with Ramiro. Beats him. Centering kick from that player. And Daniels beat 3. Well done. Good skills from Daniels, the redhead. A long kick. Stewie Lowe, the target. 205 marks for the year. Up the half forward. Dwyer. Not a well-delivered kick. Ross Smith. Chandler from half back. Picks out his man Hepburn and does well. Marks in front of Lowe on right centre wing. North into attack again. Harding running with the ball. Ramiro off the ground. Inside 50. Allison with speed. Beats one. Hand pass. No one there. The ball's there to be won. North doing well. Now it's Crocker's turn. Crocker right on 50. Should score from there. Long kick. And just off target, I fancy. One behind. Darren Crocker a little bit disappointed. 10-6. The Kangaroos total. And they're doing it well from St Kilda, languishing on 3 goals for Harding.
Harding receives from full back. So Crocker having that shot a moment ago. He's really starting to realise his potential, and there he is again. He's been one of those players just been dogged with many injuries in his career. Looked like being a champion earlier on. Towards full forward, Frawley kept his eyes on the ball. Some shepherding out, I think, behind the play. It might be a North free kick, or will it go St Kilda's way? No, it's North Melbourne, all right. It was against Russell Jeffrey, or Grant Laurie, I think it might have been against. As the kick came down, or Russell Jeffrey, one of the two gave away the free because Frawley was definitely going to take the mark. McCarthy was shepherded out of the contest.
For goal number 4, Pete.
Well, he's having a great night. John McCarthy from 30 metres, almost directly in front. Stabs at goal and goals.
Points the difference, 11-6 to 3-4. A Tiki Touchwood free kick resulting in another goal. Grant out of the centre, short kick to half forward, and there's the man of the match. Certainly St Kilda's best player by the length of the Flemington straight. Craig Devonport, 55 metres out from goal, goes for the spiral putt. Nearly scores, and off the hands of the pack for one behind to make the difference 49 points.
They've taken Frawley off Longmire, not because he's not doing his job, but Frawley's gone on to McCarthy by the looks of it. Ricky Nixon has gone down onto John Longmire. So there they are, and I think Frawley's hanging around Longmire anyway.
Looks like it.
And Jeffries looks though Bernie's down at full forward.
Yeah, well, I think really the player to worry about at the moment is McCarthy, not Longmire.
McCarthy 4 goals, Carey 3, Longmire 1. Well, Longmire has missed a couple that under normal circumstances maybe would have got. Fode punches clear. Ball spills free inside the square. Ben Buckley takes hold of it. A bad hand pass. Fode again. High kick to within 20 metres of goal. Fairly. Dwyer. Low. Can he get a boot to it? He can. Jeffrey. A hand pass away. Jeffrey's kicked it out of bounds on the full. And so a free kick will go North Melbourne's way in the left back pocket. A great performance by North so far. Is that a mark to Hamilton? No, says the umpire. Defetta. Kicked 1 goal already. Didn't get much with that kick. Daniels is not going to get any value with this position either because it's out of bounds. And light rain starting to fall. No surprise in Melbourne, the way things have been going lately. The ground bearing up well. Harding taps down. Tried to find Rice. Couldn't do so. Crocker has put that out of bounds, and indeed it is on the full. And it's going to be a free kick to St Kilda on right centre wing. It's going to be taken by former Fitzroy player Tim Peake.
Had a good year too, Peake. Oh, look at the hands of Lowe. Strong. Tremendous mark. And he's on a good player in Ian Fairley. Stewie Lowe coming right out towards the half-forward line. Then the kick. They need someone to take a couple of big ones. There's Devonport, the danger man, on the left foot. Oh, geez, a dangerous player. He's missed again, though. He's had 11 kicks, and he's kicked 4 behinds. The short one, 3 behinds, in fact. There's Chandler. To the half-back line, David Grant, well done, as he traps that beautifully. He really is a talented player, Grant. Brayshaw, his father a champion cricketer, of course, for Australia, Ian Brayshaw. There's Grant Laurie, was held by Carey. And it's a free kick going to Laurie, former Fitzroy player at half-back. A great kick, as I said earlier. Let's see this one, a 60-metre kick to the half-forward line. Stewie Lowe played for the free kick a little bit. Then hand pass comes over to Anthony Rock. Rock to the half-forward line. They've got loose men everywhere. McCarthy on to Ellison. The short one into Longmire, and he comes and marks. Excellent play.
Superb delivery, wasn't it, by Ellison? He swung the game for North Melbourne last week, and that is a beautifully centred kick.
Longmire from 30 metres for his second goal of the game. Stabs and puts it through.
Longmire seconds, and North Melbourne goes further ahead to a percentage-boosting victory, 12-6 to 3-6.
Well, you wouldn't want to see better forward work than that. Longmire led down the centre of the ground, and Ellison just swung the ball back beautifully. Frawley just caught out of position slightly, expecting Ellison to go directly towards goal, but great understanding between Ellison and John Longmire.
6 goals to go. 12-6 to 3-6. Can Longmire get them? Rain might not help him. Scholl on centre wing with Grant. Fode for backup support. The boundary line might be a little bit too close. Coughlin. Coughlin again. And applies a good tackle. Could have almost been rewarded for his efforts too, Frank Coughlin. St Kilda's reporters certainly thought so. They've had little to cheer about tonight. 14 and a half minutes left in this quarter. A bounce, close to centre wing. Pretty crowded it is too. Cummings. Coughlin again. Good effort. Boundary throw in. It's been taken over the line. Not by very much.
Pretty cold out there too, Pete. It's 8 degrees.
Cold up here. Talking. Ramiro. Brayshaw. Scholl. One of North Melbourne's best players tonight. A high kick but gets a lot of distance with it. Knocked down by Nixon. There's a free kick. Didn't see what that was for, but the umpire was pretty quick with the whistle, Bernie.
I think that's another shepherding free kick.
But I don't think that should have been that one.
Let's have a look at it.
That's not a free kick.
Oh, that's an amazing free kick, that one.
I can't believe that.
Well, you've just lost your tickets to the
Well,
umpire's
there's
ball.
no way known I'm going to wrap them after those last couple.
No, that's a couple of shockers.
Look at this.
A couple of shockers.
He stood his ground.
Well, Grant Laurie was even behind Carey.
Now, there is a whistle. Carey had a shot. He's kicked 3 goals. That's not going to be a score.
That might be the flavour of the day, that shepherding rule this week. I think the way they've been picking them out.
Well, the one we had last week was deliberate out of bounds. We saw some rippers. Tony Campbell's punch away last week was unbelievable. But Brian Sheehan was the man in charge. McCarthy, centering kick. And North Melbourne really doing as they like at the moment. Let's see if he can do better this time.
Well, dangerous play there from St Kilda, bringing the ball out to the other side of the ground.
Carey's kicked 4. Or 3. McCarthy's got 4. Well, he's going for another one. And John Longmire has got 2 goals. That's pretty close. No doubt about that. That's through. Favouring the outer side. Oh, that's a great mark down there by Darren Crocker, and Pete, he's staying.
He is in great form. A couple of top games in a row, and another good one tonight. Longmire! No, he couldn't grab it on the 3rd bite, and rightly so, the umpire didn't pay it. It was coming, getting it across to Rice. Now on to Harding, and ran into trouble. Here's Pekin, gets away with it. But the handballing indiscriminately. The ball comes to Hepburn. Sets it up for the forwards. Dean Rice with courage. Goes back to take the mark. Good football, St Kilda. Ricky Nixon. The short one is on to Pekin. Oh, used his body well in Tim Pekin. A clever mark. The short one is further afield. That was by Bernie Harris. And he's found Devonport on centre wing. Craig Devonport to the half-forward line. Stewie Lowe at the back. What can he do? Yes, he can mark all right. That's his 8th. And that was a strong mark. How do you stop him? From 60 metres, he sets it up in front of goal. Can they take a mark, the Saints? It hits the deck. Here's a chance for Sexton with a quick kick. The mark is taken by Coughlin. About 5 metres out from goal on a 45-degree angle. And Bernie, they've picked up their work rate.
Well, much better by St Kilda. They're certainly doing well across that half-forward line. They're working well in defence. Stewie Lowe, if he has a run at the ball, there's no stopping him once he gets his hand on the ball. And Frankie Coughlin, pretty easy shot at goal.
Coughlin from 5 metres. Kicks. What's he done with it? Oh, no. He's missed.
Well, it wasn't 45 degrees, Pete. It was more like about 60. As a school teacher, you know, there's a bit of a difference with those 15 degrees.
Oh, yeah, but he shouldn't have missed that one. He laid right back and kicked it too high, as we see Martin bring it back into play.
Ex-school teacher, I should say. Well, the marking tonight has been exceptional. Hepburn to centre wing. Harding. Buckley. Ramirez. And does well. A lot of players around the ball. St Kilda's hand passing a short time ago was indiscriminate. That one came off at the half forward. Rock might get there first. Now there's a whistle. St Kilda free kick.
Frawley interfered with, Pete.
Defensive 50. St Kilda working a little bit hard. Cummings. DePetta from the left centre wing. Saints forward line. Led by Stewie Lowe. He couldn't take the mark. Brayshaw goes in short. Hepburn again. Hepburn from half-back. Straight down the ground to half-forward. Fine mark taken by McCarthy. And McCarthy has kicked forward. Nixon stands the mark. Look at this grab.
Well, much too easily in the end, but McCarthy virtually playing as a second full forward.
Something Richmond could never work with Roach and Taylor. North Melbourne doing it well tonight. The tandem. Can he make it number 5? Under 14 minutes left in the quarter. It's going to be a big total by the Roos. That might just scrape in distance-wise. It has. It looks good from here. It's a goal. 5 goals to McCarthy, 16 to North Melbourne, 16-10 to 17.
Yes, John McCarthy, 5 goals, 3 in fact, and he's missed a couple of reasonably easy shots on that forward line. Has marked well, leads well, an exciting player to watch. And even though Longmire's only kicked 2 goals for the night, he has St Kilda's best defender picking him up, and it's making it easy for the rest of the North Melbourne forwards.
9 goals the margin. Big thump by Hepburn. Grabbed by Carey. Onto the left foot. Hooks it back to the forward pocket. Dean Rice running back with the flight of the ball. Trapped that beautifully and then runs over the line with it. At half forward for North. 7 kicks and 6 handballs, but has tried very, very hard. Dean Rice. It's not easy when you're in a losing side. Carey to do the ruck work against Harding. They lock arms. Harding gets it to ground. Bernie Harris lying on top of it, or he was sensible enough to get it out, and then that's Gordon Fode shuffling it towards the line. So it'll be another throw in. There's Anthony Rock on screen, a little rover, another product of the under-19s, a very strong under-19s side for many years, North Melbourne. Carey. That's Crocker coming over the top. He's got a big leap. Now, that was held too, Kane Taylor. So, that is tough. I thought he had no chance whatsoever. He was just pinged with the ball too. Let's have a look again. Look at that, held in under there.
Yeah, good decision from the umpire there, Pete, because he ducked his head when he saw the tackle about to be applied.
Oh, I thought it was tough. As we see Carey, I mean, you must have some chance to get rid of it.
Well, you didn't win a brown, though, and he did.
Well, that's how he won it. And coming onto the ground, young Anthony Dwyer, son of Twinkle Toes, Laurie Dwyer, former champion wingman. As we see Carey from 45 metres across the face of goal. And it's a mark taken down there by Harding. He plays on to Bernie Harris. Back to Harding. They didn't gain a lot then. Harding to the half-back line. Crocker sets himself. Can't take the mark. Goes in against Jason Daniels. Good play by Daniels. Over to Cummings. Cummings at half-back on the left foot to half-forward. Low against Fairley. Fairley slips over. Gets in a hand pass, though. Running past was Chandler. Hepburn is the flyer. 2 bites of the cherry, and he's taken it almost on centre wing. Now, let's see Longmire. Frawley's got him again. He's leading. They're ignoring him because they know that Frawley's got him covered. Oh, big mark by McCarthy. Well, is he on fire? He's kicked 5.
As I said, Peter, though, everyone worrying about John Longmire, trying to stop him from kicking his 100th goal. And McCarthy certainly appreciating, well, he's had a couple of opponents. Grant Laurie kicked 3 goals on. He's now playing on Ricky Nixon.
Well, he's not doing his job. Frawley is. As we see McCarthy for goal number 6. Yes, it's a goal.
11 minutes left in the third quarter. 6 goals to McCarthy and 4 to Carey. As Jeffrey comes back on, Nixon taken off. Harding tried to find Coghlan, couldn't do so. Ball socket out towards the edge of the square and picked up by Rock, who usually plays well in these night games. Allison with speed, up the half forward. Longmire almost again. Frawley doing well. His partner down there, Rice, giving him good backup support. A high kick. Pekin got high. Gallagher just coming onto the ground to replace Hepburn. Scholl, who played an excellent first half. Frawley over to Fode. Gordon Fode's kick not particularly good, not well directed, and Allison takes a good mark. Allison on the right centre wing kicked a lovely goal earlier in the game at the other end. McCarthy again. Harding. Jason Daniels. Crocker nearly picked him up. Out to the centre wing position. Ball skids to the boundary line. Won't quite get there. Picked up by Rock. He's got Buckley behind him. Decides to ignore him and go long. Good centering kick by the Rover, but not well directed. And Dean Rice. Fine defender for St Kilda. Making nothing in courage. And good skills too. Low. Got a hand to it. Ross Smith. High kick. Big pack will gather under this one. 6 or 7 players. Romero at the fall of the ball. Taps out to Larkin. Nearly caught. Good tackle. Crocker it is with speed. Romero moved down the ground quickly. Tries to fire out the hand pass. McCarthy. He's kicked 6. Can he make it 7? Spins around right on 50. Good long kick. Will get the distance. Hit the post. God, that would have been an amazing goal. I think I penciled in Darren Crocker for goal of the night, but that one was better, or could have been. 17-11 to 7-10.
Well, he can do anything, John McCarthy, when he's switched on. But he can also be terrible. But it's one of his big nights.
Just tonight.
This is Harding around the corner. Jason Daniels, he's been one of St Kilda's better players. Gee, he's tried hard. To half forward, Low. Where is he? He's got 2 to beat. Taken away by Fairley. Very proud father, of course, as we see the ball kicked out towards half forward. Well done by Dean Rice. I mentioned earlier in the game, his wife presented him with a son last night. Ian Fairley, a very proud man tonight, and he's got a big task on Stuart Lowe, a great player for St Kilda. Now, how many marks has Lowe taken for the night? I think it's 8 or 9. It's 9, in fact. 9 marks. No, it's 8. And 9 kicks. Here's Tim Pekin. Now, that is... now, to me, that was the same as the one down in the goal square before with Kane Taylor. Exactly the same decision. But this time is where you've got to be consistent. Sorry to mention again, Bernie.
You've got off those umpires, haven't you, Pete?
They're still all right.
He's dropped right off.
They've had a good year. That's the main thing. Wins that ball.
Must be a square off or something. Find out later. Centre wing. Gallagher. Playing in tandem tonight with Hepburn. Now, is he caught with the ball? No, says the umpire. Jason Daniels, who's had 19 possessions tonight. Couldn't get away another one. Certainly, by those statistics, he's been one of their better players. Another bounce. They've had few. Buckley. Out it comes towards left half forward flank. Carey. Is that holding the ball? Yes, it is, says the umpire. And Grant Laurie will take the free kick. Laurie at right half-back flank. In fact, right on the boundary line. 7.5 minutes left in this quarter. Laurie kicking to centre wing. Marking contest. None paid. Hand pass to Fode. Oh, finger tipper by Ross Smith. Goes backwards with confidence to Hamilton. A late inclusion in the side. Out to the West Australian Brayshaw. Wobbly punt kick. Rock did well because Coghlan certainly had his name on that one. Carey again. Hand pass. Allison has speed. He'll use it here. Snapshot. And that was by young Dwyer. Frawley. Coghlan. They might get out of this. Cummings. Laurie. Into the open space. Members stand side. Most of the play tonight has been on the outer flank, but the ball over the boundary line in front of Pekin and Scholl, and we'll see a boundary throw in close to centre wing. In fact, next to the interchange area. Gallagher and Harding. Harding's rucked tirelessly and done well. Coghlan has had a stint on the bench. Then he runs into the Saints' best player in Craig Devonport. And Devonport finally, that was good tactics to use. Kicks it off the ground. It is out of bounds, but St Kilda gains some 40 metres.
Well, they trail by 10 goals, 1. They're trying hard enough, St Kilda, but they're just badly undermanned. Lockett, Winmar, Jimmy Cracker, Nathan Burke, Robert Harvey, Brett Bowie. You'd like all those players in. Fairly, a quick kick to centre wing. Oh, beautifully trapped that was by Buckley. On to Ross Smith. Smith to the half-forward line. Carey and Grant Laurie. He's done better in this quarter, Laurie on Carey. Oh, there's Larkin to Allison. Will it sit for him? No, he loses it to Kane Taylor. Now Allison tries to get the tap on his DePetta. Quick hand pass. Here's the dangerous Larkin. Brilliant play to McCarthy. It could be another one. I think that's another one, all right. 7 goals. John McCarthy. 18-11 North. St Kilda 7-10.
That's a real big night by John McCarthy. 7 goals, 4, 11 shots at goal. And even though they've got plenty of talent in this North Melbourne side, they're not afraid to work hard as well, and that's a good thing about them. They're always there backing up McCarthy with skill to burn, also working very hard tonight, something he didn't do in the past.
7 goals to McCarthy, 4 to Carey, 2 to Longmire. 119 plays 52 at the MCG. Harding taps it to Dwyer. Short kick up the half forward. Carey, Allison. Allison inside 50, can score. That's a goal. Another one.
(25-16) plays 11-14. 6.5 minutes of play left in the game. It'll be a long 6.5 minutes for St Kilda, I'd imagine. That could have been a free kick to McRae. Was held, but he plays on and kicks it wide. Dwyer, Anthony Dwyer, well done to Rock. Now let's see, where's Longmire? Here he is. Yes, he marks. He marks out in front of Frawley. And he even had to earn that one, Bernie.
Yes, it'll be a good goal if he kicks this too, Pete. Out in front, a strong chest mark. Look at that surface kick up there. Very sandy in that section of the ground.
50 metres out from goal. Going for goal number 4, John Longmire. Brings it back. Won't make the... Oh, did it! Is that a goal? No, just wide. And it wasn't a bad kick by Johnny Longmire. The North supporters willing it through. He's worked hard tonight under extreme pressure from Frawley. Danny Frawley, a fantastic performance, really, considering the amount of play North Melbourne has had. This is Tim Pekin. It'll have to come back. That ball's been belted down there time and time again, and Frawley's held firm. Here's Jeffrey. Further afield to Donald. Back to Pekin. They seem to be twice as quick, North Melbourne. The short one is on to Mick Dwyer, who's had a quiet night. Dwyer to full forward. Lowe should mark this. Oh, did he have his name written all over that one?
10 marks to Stewie Lowe, 11 kicks, 6 handballs.
And he hasn't really, Bernie, been a dominant player, has he?
No, he hasn't really burnt, has he, Pete? And we look at that mark again, in perfect position. 2 North Melbourne players, no chance once the ball hit his hands.
But in a losing side, you know, to take 10 marks at centre forward's a terrific effort, really.
Yeah, you can't knock that, Pete, that's for sure.
I mean, it'd be all, how would Lowe be down the other end of the ground? He'd take 25 marks. Lowe from 25 metres, directly in front. No doubt about that, straight through the middle. Stewie Lowe kicks his second, and St Kilda their 12th. 25-17 North, St Kilda 12-14.
Well, he'd be the Brownlow medal favourite, I suppose, Stewie Lowe. 49 goals now for the season. Mickey Dwyer on the lead. Quickly moves the ball on. Well played, Mickey Dwyer, to get the ball moving. And Stewie Lowe, the strength, strong hands, perfect position. And his second goal, 49, as I said, for the season.
5 minutes left in the game. North Melbourne still to equal their record score against the Saints. They won't get a record-winning margin, I wouldn't think now. Pekin comes out of the pack with the ball. He didn't get very far, though, did he? McCarthy streams forward. Where's Longmire? There he is, this time in front of goal. Now he should be able to kick this. You can see the distance there, well within kicking distance. John Longmire has 3.
Well, Danny Frawley held his head You knew he was gone, Bernie.
Well, there was nothing he could really do about it, Pete, was there?
Longmire kicks. And he goes. So he's halfway there. He needed 8. He's got 4. 26-17, 173. And that's their record score against St Kilda, who were 12-14, 86.
And that was a clever kick from John McCarthy because he was coming out of the centre along the outer side of the ground and he brought the ball back across towards the member side. And Longmire made the move one way, then the other. And that's what caught Danny Frawley out.
Danny Frawley, though, has done a great job. But that three-pronged attack has been brilliant. McCarthy 8, Carey 5, Longmire 4 now, and you've had the crumbs picked up by Allison, Romero and Rockpeak.
They've been very impressive, very even. Haven't had a weak link. Centre of the ground. Let's see if Johnny Longmire can get a couple before the finish of the game. There's Luke Donald in after it and taps it on. McCarthy again up around the centre. Brayshaw on to Chandler. The short one to Allison. Where's Longmire? The leader's on the chip passes there. Romero comes across in front of Longmire and the North supporters won't like that. Because Longmire was going to mark, I think.
Oh, it was a certainty, wasn't it, Pete? A certain mark there to Longmire. Would hit him right on the chest.
Well, they're not happy, the North Melbourne supporters, even though one of their little heroes has taken the mark and is going to shoot for goal. Jose, now he's going to kick it to Longmire. Frawley at the back. Dives and marks. It has been a valiant effort by Frawley. On he goes. Further afield, and the mark has been taken down there by Sexton after receiving from Luke Donald. Low, can he take another mark? No, it's punched down by Fairley. Punched on by Donald towards half forward. Fisted down. Look at Stewie Lowe. Still chasing the ball. Even though the game's well won. On to Bernie Harris. He sets it up for a mark in front of goal, but they're too good, North Melbourne. Michael Martin takes it away.
Martin's kick landing right on 50, and it bounces out of bounds in front of Dwyer on the outer side, where the old practice wickets were. Throw in with under 3 minutes remaining in this game. Good win for North Melbourne, a record score, great boost in percentage. So if Hawthorn loses tomorrow, it'll be pretty interesting in the last round. In speculation, Sexton at half forward, marking in front of Romero. Stuttering run up. Move his marker back a bit. And doesn't get too much distance. Consequently, with the kick, Gee Lowe almost dragged in a miraculous mark. Devonport applies a tackle. Loose ball, spills for Rock. Romero. Looping hand pass. Allison. Leading out. Longmire. Almost. You'd almost give it to him. Harding goes backwards to Laurie. Onto Rice. Onto Sexton. Onto Laurie again. Well up the ground. Romero grabbed him by the legs. Dwyer tries to tap it to Gallagher. But the umpire's given a free kick to Dwyer, which he will take on the right centre wing.
Well, can they get it down to Longmire again? The crowd, well, there's an air of expectancy with a couple of minutes to go. 1 minute and 48 seconds of play left as we see Larkin, Longmire punched away again by Frawley. What a great contest. McCarthy's kicked 8. On to Carey. Carey chips in a goal. Is it another one to North? I think it is. And Carey has kicked his 6th.
6 goals to Carey, 8 to McCarthy, 27-17 to 12-14.
Again, the 3 young North Melbourne forwards, the champions combining again. Longmire going for the mark. McCarthy chipping in, getting the hand pass to Carey, who finishes off, as Peter said, his 6th goal. Been very impressive at centre-half forward, as has McCarthy been in that forward pocket. And Longmire's tried his heart out at full forward.
Back into the centre. A minute and a half remaining in the game. Could Longmire get perhaps one more to make his task a little bit easier next week if he's going to get the ton? Allison. He backs into it. Frawley backs with him. And it's out of bounds. Well, that might be his last chance. Only a minute 11 left in this match. There's been a good team effort from North Melbourne. And a lot of sides in the 5 will be glad if North Melbourne does not make it. Certainly on their form tonight. Harding. Donald. No, it's Harris. and he is Harris too. Harding kicks wide. Rice, good leap with Dwyer. Larkin for backup support. Rice is going to come out of it with the free kick. Dean Rice in the left back pocket. 45 seconds remaining in the clash. He's kicked to centre wing, or a little bit short of it. Smith fists the ball forward. DePetta, who's kicked a couple of goals, one of the rookies in the St Kilda side. Now this is Pekin. He steadies. Up towards Lowe, who marks.
Well, Stewie Lowe, he's been fantastic tonight again. Tried his heart out, he has. 11 marks for a centre-half forward, and I mean, he hasn't been dominant, but...
Oh, he's been steady though, Peter. And this is for his 50th goal for the season.
And we expect him now every week to take 15 marks, and we probably expect too much at times. Stuart Lowe has improved his kicking, his concentration, kicks a goal, floats it across, and he has missed.
And there's the siren for the end of the game. North Melbourne convincing winners.